Lex Show Daily Rants. It's a Lex Studios production in collaboration with other partners and platform. The show inspired to promote open, thoughtful discussions on current topics that affect us in our daily lives. We maintain a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination, racism, bigotry, or emotional manipulation. We are encouraging viewers to set personal biases aside and put your emotions behind your screen. All opinions expressed on various topics does not intended to convey hate toward anyone or place. All our topics and conversations are designed to foster societal learning and growth through open-minded discussion. Viewers are encouraged to engage with a balanced perspective, supporting informed and open-minded dialogue at their own discretion.
Hi viewers, welcome to another episode with the Decipher. Today is not a very good day. I don't want to be a bit of bad news because I spend most of my time going online trying to find some really good, interesting conversation that I can bring up, and we can have a good understanding. I can learn from you. You can teach me something I don't know. But unfortunately today, it's such a very sad situation, and I think it's not like I know, and I think the time is gonna come that we're gonna start taking matters into our own hand. And before I say anything, is that anything I say here today, if you use whatever I say today to judge me, it shows me that you lack humanity. There's no humanity in you at all. If anything I say today is gonna really aggravate you to the point whereby you don't listen to the context of what I'm saying, but you so personalize this because you can't differentiate between when somebody is having a conversation from a human experience, you don't know how to do it. It doesn't come natural to you. Then you're the reason why when people start taking matters into their own hand, you should shut the fuck up. I'm saying that this is one of the worst things that I am not expecting to see in 2026, but here we are. We're back to the same cycle again, the same old cycle of the shit that we have to deal with as black people all over the world. Okay, I like to see myself as someone that like to have conversation from a place of let's figure a way how to be together and to try and sing some kumbaya. But it's like every day there's another reason why we need to stay the fuck away from any kind of environment. And this is another shout out to the African leaders out there. Your sons and your daughters are getting killed every day. Whenever Mr. Peach feels in a position of power, this is what happens. So I'm going to paint you a picture. If you get to watch this now or later, I want you to imagine something. Imagine when a pastor says that as a white man, that I as a black man, I'm 2, 3 times, 30 times much more dangerous than him. And I want to put that at the back of your mind because I'm going to paint you a picture. Because the picture I'm going to paint you is going to let you have a better understanding why this shit hasn't stopped. Why this shit keeps continuing happening day in, day out. At least that is the one. How crazy it is that when something has happened to you, you better be lucky that there's a camera that can see it. Because if you turn around and tell that this is what happened to me, I don't think that really happened to you. People will even accuse you of faking up a story. But imagine another broad daylight lynching happen in one of those Inuit village. And Ireland, like I said, if you see my video a couple of weeks ago when I said the United Nations, Ireland that was oppressed by the UK, they didn't vote that slavery was crime against humanity. I am absolutely not fucking surprised. I am not. I am not surprised at all. Because it just shows the importance of why it's very incredible that in 2026 we still need to be discussing this at all. let me paint you the picture so you can really understand what I'm talking about. First of all, I want to show you this man. If you remember this man, I do crash out every time I see his face, because this will highlight exactly the reason why there's so much hostility in the world today. Watch. Watch this first, then I'll pause it.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says there are certain parts of town that you cannot go, and there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, right. But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same.
So I want to pause that right there. I want you to remember what this man just said. I don't want you to forget. Because I deliberately saved this video, I saved it on my computer. So anytime I can refresh my memory about what this man said. Remember, this man just said that in a group, in a crowded environment, as a white parent, you should tell your kids that when there are white people there is some danger. But where there is black people, there is 30 times much more danger than a white person. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you a video. Before I play this video, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I'm warning you, this is going to trigger you if you see this video. I'm not sharing this video because I want to go viral. No. I'm sharing this to highlight the society that we live in. Because this degenerate son of a bitch of a man who call himself a fucking stupid pastor says that I am 30 times more dangerous than he is. Let me say it again. This man that you're watching right now, he says that me as a black man, I'm 30 times more dangerous than him. Let me show you something that happened in Ireland. Watch.
It is awful, and I think we are we're really racist.
I saw colleagues doing that, and I advertise them.
Silence! No more violence! No more silence! No more!
You don't see this in Ireland.
Sorry for children.
You see this in sorts of American things like that.
We call this a George Floyd moment because it happened the same situation, same incident. Like I can't believe it happened in America in 2020 and then happened in Ireland in 2026.
You look at that video, it literally is like a reenactment of what happened to George Floyd.
And then the behavior of a government minister from Israel has been absolutely shocking.
The responsibility. Take the anger from
Racism by definition.
So if you just see that right now, that is a man that they put their knees on his neck. All right. You see, they put their knees on this man's neck. This is another George Floyd situation. And I want you to watch right there. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different men. Then Then another two came up. See, there were 5 different men putting their foot, resting their entire weight on this man. Now this man is dead. Then there's a pastor that tells you that I am 30 times much more dangerous than he is. And if you look at all the people there, who are they? So I want to ask a rhetorical question, and I want you to answer me. If you're watching this as a white man, as an Asian man, as a Middle Eastern man, you've traveled to Africa. Some of you have been there. When was the last time you ever heard in the national news, public news, private news, whatever news you can talk about, have you ever found a situation whereby a white man steals something from a store in Africa? Or majority environment whereby there's a lot of black people, they steal something. And when it was apprehended, they put all the body weight and put their knees on his neck until the man dies. Please let me know. Have you ever seen one before? And this is the part of the situation that is extremely sad. That for some reason, some people can't comprehend. How much proof do you need? How much? How much proof do you need? How much proof? Because when the world talked about everything that is black is violent, they ignite communities to go against black people all over the world. How much fucking proof do you need? How much? And yet, this degenerate son of a bitch of a man says that I am 30 times much more dangerous than somebody that looks like him. I genuinely want you guys to understand how fucking sad this situation is. This man says that I'm 30 times much more dangerous than he is, and you find this in Ireland. George Floyd 2.0 in Ireland. That racist fucking country. It is a rhetorical question, but it's a question that I want anyone to answer me. Tell me, since you've heard a lot of stories about people traveling to Africa, you think they don't commit crime when they go to Africa? You think Africa is just a savannah, they go see kettles and cows, a gazelle and all this shit? You think they don't commit crime in Africa? Is that what you think? There was a video was trending. I just didn't want to show it. A couple of days ago, I saw the art video of the African-American girl that she went with a white fiance that she got killed in Tanzania. Go and check online, you find it. You think they don't commit crime in Africa. When was the last time you find out that a white man living in Africa committed a crime, and the community there, they lean on him, they put their weight on him, and they killed him in broad daylight lynching? So how much item did this steal? Let me ask you another question. How much item do you steal? Do you think is what, when you get apprehended, for them to put all their body weight on you until you die? How many? How much crime do you have to commit that needs to lead to your death? How much proof do you need? How much? Now the family have lost a breadwinner to help. With the restrictions that we get all over the world where we go to. So if black people start fighting for themselves now, you're going to call them violent, right? So when there's a pushback now, there's going to be the black people are violent, very loud. In Japan, they're already calling us Vitromites already. But I want you guys to just truly understand, because this forsaken son of a bitch of a man says that black people We are 30 times much more dangerous than you. Whatever vodka or kind is drinking, I think it needs more of it. I'm going to play the video one more time for you to listen to what this degeneration of a bitch said. Listen.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says there are certain parts of town that you cannot go, and there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times.
And yet, there hasn't been any recorded news that I can see to show you this level of atrocity and broad daylight, ladies and gentlemen. And this is another part of our modern society that, like, nobody there could tell them to get the fuck out of him. They can't remember what happened to George Floyd. This is not a go viral moment. This is a moment for you to look into your own soul and ask yourself, how many people did you see there? You understand? How many people do you see there, right there? And this is an average day. Imagine you get up today. Imagine I'm getting in Melbourne today and I'm going out, and today could be my last day. Because I could be accused of anything and they could jump me and basically lynch me in the middle of the street. And there will be justification because I took something. I want you to think about that for a second. This man is dead because allegedly he stole something. They didn't find anything he stole, and they killed him in the middle of the street. And people were watching, have a camera recording it. This is the modern society that we live in today. This is the modern society that we live. So when so and so called black people start taking matters in their own hand, I don't want you to turn around and start bitching. Stop whinging. Because a couple of days ago there was that Bob or whatever guy that is about to go to jail. He's in America. He goes around and instigating black people, calling them the N-word. He goes around and call them all the N-words. And there's another guy that trying to do it. They getting whacked in the face now. You better watch out. Because you got to understand something now. It comes to a time whereby the quietness is not going to be quiet no more. This man, they stepped on his neck just like they did to George Floyd. They killed this man in the middle of the fucking street. The same is like George Floyd 2.0 happened again 6 years later to the entire world to see. I'm going to rewind it again so you can watch it and put this at the back of your mind. These sort of the people that will turn around and tell you that they are civilized. I want you to just think about that for a second. These are the group of people that will turn around and tell you that they're civilized. So one of the things that I didn't do is that I really don't come here and talk very much about Australia in terms of the kind of nonsense that we get every day by a lot of right wing, left wing, whatever wing they want to call it. They are the bird of the same feathers. Because a bird usually have two wings. That the wings of a bird is joined to the body of the bird. The bird itself is a problem. So left wing, right wing, it doesn't matter. There is just a lot of rhetoric about, because one of those things that some people, they not only they're so fucking stupid beyond comprehension, they only understand what they're feeling right now. They can't really process things in the brain. Let me use it the most stupid comprehension that you can afford to have. Think about it for a second. When Africans migrate, when black people migrate all over the world to go seek a better life for themselves, and one of the insults that you get constantly as a black person, especially as an African, is that, why don't you go back to your country? Why are you complaining that things is bad here? So the thing is that right there to you, you think you said something that's really smart. But for me, when I listen to you, I understand you're fucking stupid. Your stupidity, in fact, you can't measure it. If you put a microscope on it, you can't even measure your stupidity. That is how much is it. That's how intelligent you are, this much. Because you got to understand is that, why are people migrating away from where they are? Why can't they stay where they are to make a better life? If you can start asking that sort of question, then you start, maybe the little minute crumb of humanity in you will be able to comprehend the reason why there's an influx of people who want to migrate back to other part of the world. Then that is going to start breeding more questions. It's going to start breeding more questions. Like I've said it many times, it's not a second or third knowledge. I even say to my African audience here in Australia, you think because you have an Australian passport, a British passport, an American passport, an Irish passport, a Canadian passport, you think it protects you? You be stupid like a motherfucker if you think that protects you from nothing. You be stupid to think that because you have a passport of, you don't belong there. You are a borrowed citizen. You are a foreign alien representing a particular place, because might be by birth, might be because your parents relocated and migrated there and you go through the so-called process, but you will never be part of them. And that is part of what it is. Because the thing is that if a white man has stolen something there, I can promise you they won't put their knees on his neck. Why always black people? You understand? Why always black? Why this doesn't happen to Asian men? Why this doesn't happen to Middle Eastern men? Why this always happen to black men? Why? Black men only. It takes 5 men to put him down. Now he's dead. I want to understand, what is the justification that they will come up with this? Now, one of the excuses that you start hearing is that he injected something in his intestine. Oh, he was smoking something. Oh, we found traces of this in his neck. Oh, we found traces of this in his stomach. That is the fucking stupid excuse they're going to have. They just killed the man in broad daylight because he stole something. Really? Like all those fucking stores, they don't have insurances? And these are the people that will tell you that they are very civilized. These are the people that will tell you that, oh no, we live in a very in a very futuristic world. How barbaric can that be? I'm asking a question. If you get to watch this now or later, I want to ask you, since you've been hearing how shithole Africa has been, when was the last time you heard the news that a lot of Africans, you understand, a lot of Africans attacked a white man, a white woman in Africa for stealing something, and they lynched this man or this woman to death? Please find it and send it to me and let me know. It always happens to black men. It doesn't happen to Asian men. It doesn't happen to Middle Eastern men. It's always black men. Why? Where do you get this ideology from? It's the same pattern of behavior constantly over and over again. How much proof do you need? How much proof do you need? How much proof do you need to understand this shit is what we've been telling you it is? Whatever fear-mongering tactics they've injected into your subconscious right from when you're a little toddler, it is manifesting as an adult. This is why I said the Western society is going to fucking collapse, because these are the things that you do. It's just a matter of time. You will collapse from within because there is nothing original. Nothing. Everything is manufactured, orchestrated, because the architect of modern world today is evil. And who is on top of it? Mr. Peach. Mr. Peach is always on top of it. Every chaos we deal with in this world, you will find their hand in the cookie jars. That is how it works, because everything about them, it's what you've just seen. Oppression at the highest level, however way they can get it. They love to oppress. It's part of their being. It's part of their existence. There is no humanity in many of their souls. Many of their souls, they walk around, they're just the empty shell of who they are. They have no soul in them at all. I'll ask again one more rhetorical question. Find me any article, any video to show a white man in Africa commits a crime and he got lynched in the middle of the street. I'll wait.
Racism, by definition, to me, and this is not just to me, it's a grammatical thing, right? If you have a word that ends with ISM and ism, it is almost by definition two things: an ideology and a system. So you think of other examples: communism, socialism, capitalism, fascism. These are ideologies. They're ways of viewing the world, seeing the world. They're also ways of organizing it, right, as a system. So at a systemic level, people of color can't really effectively exercise racism. Now, at the ideological level, I will be more than happy, for the sake of argument, to say that at the ideological level, anybody can be racist. Anybody can have a racist belief. But it's like, I can be a capitalist up here in North Korea, but I ain't getting very far with that, right? I can't actually effectuate my capitalist thinking into capitalism in practice. I can be a communist in a capitalist economy, but I'm not getting very far with that. It's sort of like, I guess the analogy I would use, if you have a stationary combustion engine and there's no fuel that's going to that engine to make it operate, it's still an engine, but it's not going to get you from point A to point B. Once you add the fuel to it is when it's operational. And so the fuel is equivalent to power. Right? So I can say, yeah, okay, there might be such a thing as black racism as a stationary combustion engine that just sits there and sort of hurts your feelings, right? But it's not going to do very much to you because it doesn't have the power to do so. And that makes it qualitatively different and quantitatively different. Both of them may be equally objectionable. It might be just as immoral for a person of color to believe I'm inferior as it is for me to believe they're inferior. But a person of color who believes I'm inferior is not going to be the bank officer, is not going to be the employer, is not going to be the cop. I'm sure there are black cops that get tired of white spoiled college kids and high school students in privileged areas around the country, but they're not profiling them, and they're not pulling them over out of the car and beating them with clubs, and they're not shooting them by and large. So in that regard, even if you have bigotry, prejudice, or what we could call racism, if you're a person of color, you are very limited in what you're able to get away with that attitude, whereas white folks can take a pen and zone you out of existence. Right, and bring in a bulldozer to knock down your house. You know, black folks in Baltimore can get mad at white cops and throw some Molotov cocktails through the CVS, and white Baltimore can come in and knock down entire black neighborhoods to make way for the interstate. Now, you tell me which one is more effective. It's pretty obvious, right? It's pretty obvious.
So that man, I remember the very first time I saw one of his teachings, really, and I listened to him and said, it's not because he's talking from, from a place of he's a pro-black people, but he speaks as a human being. And that's why I listen to him. He speaks as a human being. Because I can see in the comment already, there's a degenerate bastard there saying a whole lot of stupid shit, which I'm not even going to read out loud. But it just shows you that the lack of comprehension that you have in this world, like I always said many times there is something called critical thinking skills. It's called common sense. You understand? Common sense. Because when something happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5,000 times, it's now a pattern of behavior. Like the man said, I've said it here, I've said the most dangerous weapon that the world has ever produced, it is not a gun, it is not a bomb, it's this. A pen and a letter shit like this, it's the most dangerous thing, because I can write a lot of nonsense on these things and I can pass into law, and there's nothing you can do about it. You see, the aspect of racism is that it is around everywhere else in this world. But you can be racist. That's one thing. But when you have the power, not only to be racist, but at the same time, to use that as an excuse to demobilize, destroy, and kill other people. Now, that is you exerting dominance over other people. And when these other people get up one day and decided that, fuck you, fuck you with all due respect, you can kiss my fucking ass, this shit is not happening here no more. Now you're going to turn around and you're going to say that I'm loud. And this is why I said, how much proof do you need? How much proof do you need? How much proof? So if you're a Caucasian man watching this video right now, if you get to see these videos, some of you don't like to watch because it is not the kind of content you are, because I'm not here cleaning your ass and wiping your ass and kissing your ass. I want you to ask yourself a question, which is extremely very difficult. Because I go into this rally, I see them the way they talk, I see the mentality. I can just see your mentality. I want to ask you, if the role was reversed, the video that I showed at the start of the video, if it was a white man laying on the floor and there were 4 or 5 different black men putting their weight and their knees on that man, and 2 days later the man died, what would you say? What would you say? If the video showed that it was a white man that stole something from a store, let's say the man was homeless. The man stole something from a store, and a group of 4, 5 heavy black men apprehended him, put their weight on him, put their knees on his neck. 2 days later, the man died as a white man. What would you say? If you're a white man watching me, what would you say? What would you call it? Do you think stealing something from a store is enough reason for those black men to put their knees on his neck and led to his death? Tell me, do you think, what would you say? Like I said, a lot of you there is no humanity in your soul. Even antagonizing me on the live stream, it shows the level of lack of humanity that you have. You're soulless. You don't have a soul. You're a degenerate son of a bitch, many of you. You understand? And many of you don't have a soul. There is no soul. You can't even fathom that somebody died from the actions. It doesn't resonate with you at all. The only thing you want to do is that you want to battle, you want to argue with me about this. You understand? And it shows you that this is why I've said it many times here. The Western society is going to collapse because of people like you. Yeah, I know you're watching me right now. Because of people like you, the Western society is going to collapse. And it's going to use its own hand to destroy itself. It's a self-inflicted one. That's what's going to happen. But let's continue.
Last Friday, a Congolese national called Yves Sakila died on Henry Street in Dublin following an alleged shoplifting incident. And during that incident, an elderly Irish man, 86 years of age, was also seriously injured. He sustained a broken hip. And almost 1 week later, we're no closer to finding out exactly what happened. The elderly gentleman's wife has made a statement today to say that we don't know who injured him. Allegedly, it was the shoplifter, Sakila. But now, maybe it wasn't him, maybe it was somebody else. And the post-mortem results were issued yesterday. And Garda Síochána made it clear that there was no conclusive proof exactly what caused the death of Yves Sakila. They need to send for a toxicology report, and that can take weeks before the results of that come back. So CCTV footage has proved to be inconclusive. The post-mortem has proved to be inconclusive. Will we ever really find out what happened? What we do know is Sakila did have previous convictions. He served at least 2 spells in prison for crimes going back as far as 2011.
Oh shit, you cannot make this shit up. Oh Jesus Christ, you cannot make this shit up, I swear to God. Oh boy. Oh, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot.
And he was also convicted of shoplifting from the same place, Arnott's in Dublin, last November. That much we do know. Should he have been deported? Could that have prevented all this? Will we ever get to the bottom of this? Like everything else, time will tell. Leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. For now, I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media. Over and out.
You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. I knew it. It's just a matter of time. You see what I'm saying? This is why I said there is no humanity in their soul. There is none. It's not even worth having any kind of conversation. Oh, jeez, you cannot make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up, man. You cannot make it up. It's not even worth even trying to say anything. Let me just move on, man.
A man named Yves Sakila was murdered on Friday in Dublin city centre in broad daylight, right in front of Arnott's on Henry Street. He was restrained by 4 men who pressed on his neck and his back until he stopped breathing. That is eerily reminiscent of exactly what happened to a man named George Floyd, who died in America almost 6 years ago under the same circumstances. What I keep coming back to is the context in which this is all happening. We had several incidents in just the last week, some of which I've spoken to, but what's really coming to mind are the very specific comments that former Taoiseach Bertie Ahern made, specifically actually mentioning Congolese people and how he didn't want them in the country, nor did he want Muslim folks in the country, and that he was concerned about them. Incidents like these are part of a bigger problem. They are symptoms of a disease, and that disease is a racist society. So while we do need to investigate every incidence of racism, including this one, we also need to remember that they do not happen in isolation, and they are part of a bigger issue. I stand in solidarity with Yves Sakila's family. May he rest in power. I also stand in solidarity with all other Black and Brown activists at this time, as well as all other Black and Brown folks living and working in Ireland. Vicarious trauma is very real, and we need to be aware of that impact it has on our communities. My call to action right now is to check in on your Black and Brown friends, colleagues, coworkers, students in your classroom, their families, and make sure they're doing okay. And that you speak out about this issue, that you educate those around you about what's going on so that we can collectively work to put a stop to this. And we can stop looking at these symptoms as minor incidents that pop up every once in a while, and that we start treating the disease.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and
You see, I'm just reading. It says seriously that we gotta just mention Black and Brown people that they say that other people are racist. There's not even worth responding to you. There's no need. You know, there is a point you get to as an adult that things is not gonna surprise you no more. You understand? Nothing is gonna surprise you anymore. So my condolences to Mr. Aprila's family, and I hope this video gets you But this is just an average day in the life of a black man. Every day when we step out of the door, it could be your last day on earth. Because you are the only one that shouldn't get the benefit of a doubt to live a life. Because when you commit a crime, or allegedly, which is not confirmed, they check all the CCTV, they couldn't find anything. So a man is just wrongfully killed. You understand? A man is just killed in the middle of the street in 2026. Oh my goodness. And you have one man coming online and saying that we found out that he committed a crime in 2011. What? Every day, I'm trying to find a reason to truly understand that we still have any quorum of humanity left in this world. But every day, I get disappointed. Every day. Every day, I get disappointed every day. I mean, where is the humanity in you? Where is the humanity in you? A man just died, and this stupid idiot of a man is talking about they found out that he committed a crime in 2011. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like literally. There's one more. I want to get this perspective from this guy. Then there's really not much to say. And this is why I'm so numb to chaos. Because we are in our society. Yeah. This shit is crazy, man.
So this is a rant. Do you know what grinds my fucking gears? People who saw the murder of Yves Sakila, the Congolese Irish man that was murdered by security guards in front of a fancy department store in Dublin, while a crowd watched, and continue to insist that just because Ireland was a country that was colonized by the British and is in some things on the right side of history is somehow different from any single Western country with a white majority. And there are two reasons why this fucks me off. The first one is that no fucking country is a hero, Western or otherwise. Countries are not people, only people can be heroes. A country is a geopolitical organization that is bent on its own preservation and the preservation of its elites. It will do what it needs to do to survive. And second, every single white majority country has a problem with anti-black racism. And when we lionize certain countries as if they were immune to criticism because of their own history, we forget that oppressed people can be oppressors.
Fact.
We encourage, like we encourage with people who are white and left-wing, lack of scrutiny, lack of self-analysis. Because as we've seen with the Labour Party in the UK, people who think that they are on the right side of history do not look at the actions that they take directly. Ignore how their minorities have to scrape to survive in their countries. Because the murder of Yves Sakila should cause horror, not surprise.
I mean, what can you say? What can I say? The bottom line is that I want you to remember this face. I want you to remember his name. Please don't forget his name. Because when the whole situation with George Floyd happened, I'm sure you know about it. You heard about it. All right. You heard about it. You remember about it. I want to keep it at the back of your mind. This is another case of another black man getting killed in the middle of the street for allegedly stealing something. I want you to look at his face. Please don't forget. Don't forget. And yet you have a man of God, a pastor of God, is telling me and you that me as a black man, I am 30 times much more dangerous than a white man. And that is the rhetoric that we consume every day in our society. So when you see me as a threat. You've never spoken a word with me. You don't even know my name. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I like. Maybe I like the same thing that you like. Maybe I love sport just like you. Maybe I'm even good at sport. Maybe I'm good at science. I'm good at business. I'm good at technology. You have no clue. But just as soon as you meet me, you've already find me as a threat. Because that's what you hear every day by your so-called leadership. They channel this into your subconscious. I'm here to take your job. The job that you are not qualified to do. The job that you are not skilled to do. But I'm here to take your job. So by that way, I shouldn't get an opportunity because I'm here. I'm here because I'm going to take food off your plate. The same job you don't want to do to put food on your own table, I'm willing to do those jobs and get paid for it. Now I'm here to take your job. Skilled, you're not skilled. Knowledge, you have none. Ability to relate and live in a decent, healthy society, you have none. But you can lynch another man because they told you that a black man is 30 times much more dangerous than you. And yet we don't have any traces of black men lynching white men in the middle of the street. And you would turn around and tell me that you are more civilized and more educated than me. And one of the dumbest, stupid excuses you get online, he said, oh, we conquered the world. You conquer. How does you oppressing other people become something that you think that you need to feel excited about? Why? Why would you think that putting so much, taking things out of fairness, why does that excite you? Why you guys don't have any fucking soul in your body at all? No soul. You watch this, even here in Australia, is the same fucking thing. They'll go on the street. Hell, get that country back, mate. It's our country, man. Our country back. It's your fucking country, you fucking lazy ass. You don't fucking do job. You don't want to work. They have to bring people from overseas to come and do the job you're not fucking qualified to do. And yet, the people who are taking your job, the same thing in UK, the same thing in Ireland, the same thing in Canada. Everywhere immigrants go to, there's always this innate unease that is gluing to your soul, which is the license to kill. Another man is dead just because he's a black man. And where are the fucking African leadership? Where are the delegation from Congo to go and ask questions by? No. The prime minister need to attend to this. Because what do you think? If this happened in Africa, you want to tell me that they won't send a convoy of any place, either America or Canada or Germany won't send a convoy to go ask questions? This is why I said we don't fucking have leadership in Africa. This only happened to black men everywhere in the world. This is why media like me come up and talk about it. Black-owned businesses is not supported. How are they going to get the job? How are they going to get a license? Everything you want to do here, it's like you need to jump about 5-10 different kind of thresholds for you to do anything, because it's the way the the system has created it. If the system is to create wealth and growth, why does it have to require so much steps that you need to take to create a business? They make things extremely very difficult, because one of the excuses is that, we need to make sure. Because no, you have to pay a lot of people a lot of money, including insurance too, for you to put food on the table. And yet you don't want to apply for a job. You don't want to do those shit jobs because you think it's beneath you. So when an immigrant come from overseas to do those jobs, now they're taking our jobs. Yeah, they're taking our jobs. Skilled, go and get a skill. You don't want to. You just want to sit there because you're so-called fucking a white man or white woman, so they could just give you everything because, yeah, it's my country. It's my country, mate. It's the same old shit, same old thing, constantly every time that we have to deal with. And the justification would be he stole something. So I just want to ask you, if you're a white man, and if you're a white woman too, if you have any soul in you, ask you a simple question. What kind of crime do you need to commit that will allow a group of black men to put their knees on your back, on your neck until you die? What kind of crime do you think warrants that? If you have any soul in you. Food for thought. Food for thought. What kind of crime do you have to commit that will lead to your death in the middle of the street? Because that is one thing that I think, it's not even just think, just reflect on it as a human being. The price of life is worth shit today. This is why the whole society is fucked up. Is not even the word I want to use. This is beyond fucked up. This is something else. We live in a society whereby the existence of humanity is every day we're chopping it off, day by day. So one of the things that I always tell people is that people see your trouble, they don't see your struggle. When people start revolting and start fighting back now, that is what they're going to paint to the picture to the public. You see, oh, immigrants, they're causing trouble everywhere. But when they're doing it now, nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. And the fucking stupid African leadership that we have, they're not going to say nothing. It's just another black man that his life doesn't worth shit. Another man is dead for what? And only happens to black men every day. Every day. I don't know this man from jump, but the thing is that I see myself in him. Because that man right there, we could be walking in the street. We don't even know each other, but they will say we're friends. Automatically, I'm a criminal. Do you understand? Whereby you get up every day, you just go out there. People are just looking at you like you're a criminal without doing nothing. People just innately just hate you. Just have this feeling like you need to prove yourself. Imagine you have to get up somewhere. You don't even know me from jump. But to you, for me to validate whatever psychopathic thing you have in your head, I need to make you feel comfortable. You are not just comfortable. Why do you feel threatened just seeing me without even speaking a single word to me? What does that come from? That unease that you have on the inside of you, where does it come from? Because it's a learned behavior. It's programming constantly at the back of your mind. Black people are dangerous. Black people are evil. Everything that is black is bad. So basically your TV screen is bad because it's black. Your car tires is black, so it's bad. Happens to be a lot of things that makes the whole world goes. It's actually painted in black, so it's bad. Like I said, when you listen to my podcast, when I do my live stream, I want it to come like a stupid man or stupid woman. I want to come here with just a simple common sense, because that is the only thing that's going to get us through all this nonsense and shit that we deal with every day. There's 2 questions I ask for you today. Why this doesn't happen to Asian men, Middle Eastern men, and South American men? Why is that anytime there's a situations like this transpire, it's always black men? Number 2 question, I want you to think about it. Where in Africa or any black community have you ever heard a group of black men put their foot, their neck, their body weight on a white man that it got to him getting killed? And ask yourself another question again. Why does this always only happens to black men? How much proof do you need? Why do you feel unease when you see black people? In fact, when you just hear black people, why does it make you feel unease? Why? You don't know them. You haven't spoken a word to them. You don't know what they like or don't like. You don't know even if they resonate with you in any kind of way. How does that make you feel unease? That anytime there's a black man, hey, hold me up, yes, sir. That is why. And yet, the most dangerous set of people in this world is this bigot here. And I've told you, I'm telling you this. Go and tell him I said so. I am not fucking flinching. This bigot, this son of a, even no bitches now, a son of a goat. This son of a goat here, this one here, this one, huh? For those who don't see, that is called himself Joel Webborn. I'm telling you, if I ever hear you come to Australia, I'm gonna fucking crash that place. You gonna fucking answer to this. Tell him, Americans, tell him, Joel Wimborn, I have a fucking issue with you. You a son of a nonsense. You are a stupid man. You are not someone that should call yourself a man of God. In fact, you are a man of evil. Anybody that goes to your church, he is evil. You are evil. If you go to this man's church, you are evil. Everything about you is evil. If you listen to any word that he says, if you spend your money in his church, you are evil. Because these are the same message that lead to outcome like that. This son of, in fact, God is not even remotely close to him. This nonsense of a man, this fucking stupid man. Yes, I'm calling you, Joel, whatever. If I ever see you in Australia, I swear on everything I have in my life, I'm fucking gonna crash that place. Because I'm gonna look you dead in here. I'm gonna tell you to say it to my face. You are part of the problem why Christianity all over the world is fucking crashing, because of your stupid ideology and your mentality. And people like this will be given mic to preach to the end of the world, telling them that in a group of white men there's some danger, but the black men are 30 times more dangerous. 30 times more dangerous, my nuts. You son of a cow. That's who you are. That's who you are. You are not you are not even fit to be an usher in a church. You are not. But this man will stay on a platform, will have congregation of people, and he will tell you about Jesus Christ. This man telling you about Jesus Christ. Listen, my left nut is painted yellow. Pay me and I can show you. Because these sort of conversation are the reason why. We're back. Because of the conversation that this man says, this is what could embody, could enhance, could give this inflated ego, inflated mindset, whereby humanity is not something that you even reflect on. You decide that you want to go put your foot on his neck. I want to play this one more time so you can understand why I'm fucking crashing out. Listen to what this man said. Listen yourself.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says there are certain parts of town that you cannot go, and there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, right. But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger.
Yeah, get this son of a bitch out of my screen. You see, I'm not sugarcoating my word. I don't give a shit to a white man. You can fucking kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck you an American. You can fucking kiss my ass. You're a son of a goat is not even warranted to be your father or your mother. You are fucking stupid of a man. And you call yourself a pastor? You call yourself a pastor. You are a degenerate son of a bitch. That's who you are. Yes, that's who you are. You're a waste of a specimen if you call yourself a pastor and you say something like that. Because these are the things that enable people to act wrong towards other people. You're a pastor, you should preach, prosperity, growth, and togetherness. No. I am the one doing your job for you. May God continue to punish you wherever you are. In fact, the devil himself, I pray he punish you for everything that you say. I have an issue with this man. Because of today, before you know, there is we found out he committed a crime 10 years ago. Really? He committed a crime 10 years ago. That is justification why he should die? Really? What kind of evilness could be in your soul so much that you can't even give justification for humanity? You want to go and dig a hole to figure out something he did 10, 20 years ago? Really? I don't like doing this, but it needs to be done. Please extend condolences to this man's family. The name is in the thumbnail on the YouTube channel and from this video. Google him, research it, go and find out what happened to you if you think I'm lying. All right? Because I don't want to be here too long, but it's such a very sad situation that this is what we still have to deal with every day. So now I need to watch my back now. Maybe somebody can accuse me. Allegedly, he did something. He touched me. Allegedly. Before you know, I got apprehended. They put a knee under my neck. You never know. Imagine you getting up today. Today could be your last day now. You don't know. Because some fucking bigot out there can accuse you of doing something you didn't do. Before you know, you're gone. Because you have another stupid pastor like this. There's a lot of people who listen to him. And he's telling them that a black man is 30 times more dangerous than a white man. Really? Like, really? For real? And this man is making millions. Sitting in the best cushion, folding his leg, acting like he's a fucking supreme god. Like I said, if anything I said today, if you think I said anything wrong, go and check your soul. You are evil too. If you're watching this live stream, if you're not as mad as I am, you are evil too. If you're watching me right now, if you think everything I said on this live stream, you don't agree with me, may God continue to punish you. In fact, that phone that you're using, this screen that you're watching for, I hope it explodes in your hand. If you're watching this and you think anything I said, you're not as pissed off as I am, may God continue to punish you. May you not have more money to keep that phone running. How much fucking proof do you need? When does this senseless killing continues? Why? Because we have a lot of people today, their soul is filled with bitterness. Their soul, they don't have a soul. They don't even have one. They've never really exercised the spirit in them for them to bring their soul out. No. They get fed every nonsense reaction they react to. They're going to listen to bigot like that stupid pastor. They're going to listen to him to fill their soul. Because a lot of people, one thing that is so difficult for them is for them to think for themselves. They cannot think for themselves. They cannot. So they need someone to force feed them with information. Because their brain is too fucking shallow for them to comprehend things. That's why I said, when you listen to me, that's why I don't use sophisticated word. Come here as a stupid man. Come here as a stupid woman. Because I'm stupid like a moral sucker, but I'll put some truth in your brain. This is just uncalled for, and it's justified because he so-and-so committed a crime. When? So the crime he committed, allegedly will get you killed today. As a black man, allegedly will get you killed in the middle of the street. Yo, Ozzy, how you day? That is how crazy it is. And this stupid bigot son of a bitch is saying that black man is 30 times more dangerous than a white man. I swear to God, you better not let me see you in Australia. I swear, every day I always check it to try to see if I ever see you in Australia. I will find the church, wherever congregation you are. I will literally play the video. I will tell you to say it to my face. I don't mind getting arrested that day. I will tell you to say it to my face. Then the people come out, say, we're very civilized. You're no fucking civilized. You're still barbaric as where you are. Like I said, if you missed the live stream that I did yesterday, it's a compilation of why the banking system is where it is. Because the banking system, the world that you and I live in today, is originated from war. War! For fucking 2,000 years, the world has been around war. The banking system was orchestrated, designed, created, not because they want to buy and sell and do trade. No, they created banking system because of war. Some stupid king, some stupid white bigot wanted to go fight war, want to go steal land, kill people. That is how the banking system started. It is not from place of fairness, it's from place of leverage. All this stupid bigot conversation from stupid pastor like this is to create leverage in people's mind. I need to make sure I protect myself from black people. Why? You think we sleep and wake up and think about you in our head? There's a lot I can say. It's just not worth it. So just keep it in mind. You see, they used to say something where I come from. They said, one day for the thief, one day for the owner. I just want you to remember all these things that's transpired. Like I always say very well, Karma has a big dick. Pause. Karma has a giant dick. And when he's ready to fuck you, you best believe it, he's gonna catch you. It doesn't matter how you're trying to run it. Karma has a huge dick. And when Karma is horny, you are the next available guest. You best believe it. Karma is gonna catch you. Because they say there's nothing you throw up that doesn't come down. Everything that goes up always comes down. Even a bird comes down. A satellite one day will come down. A plane will come down. So everything you do in this life, you're gonna reap the reward. That is how life is. You do good, good will follow you. You do evil, you best believe it. Karma is waiting to fuck you. Yes. Pause. Karma is gonna fuck you. Before you know, they come up with a justification. He committed a crime. That's why we found out. That is what the same thing the old media used to do. You commit something happened to you. Oh, we just check his file. We find he committed a crime 65 years ago. Really? They lynched the man, ladies and gentlemen, in broad daylight. And a lot of people still talk about there is no racism. There's no racism. We live in a society, very, very put together society. We don't do racism. That is old news. Why are you bringing it up back up? Why you keep killing us? Why? Why don't... how come we can't find another white man put a knee on another white man's neck that led to his death? How come it's not a national news? How come? How come anytime there's a man that got killed in the middle of the street, it usually used to be a black man? Why? If it doesn't get shut down, it's going to get accused. How come? It's always a black man. They'll lynch him, they'll kill him, they'll come up with every justification under the sun. Oh, yeah. When we do the fucking stupid things, they'll come up with this, we're doing this investigation. What fucking investigation do you need? What more investigation do you need? Investigation is already in the in broad daylight. People can see it. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning again. Watch these out. I'm not even going to play the audio. But look at that. They literally, look at that. What kind of investigation do you need for that? What? I dare anybody to tell me it needs some fucking investigation. How much investigation do you need for this? That is his face. They killed him in broad daylight. What fucking investigation do you need? Don't forget his name. Don't. Because if you do, I'll remind you. That's the man that they put their knees on his neck. He died just like George Floyd did. He was unresponsive at the scene and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Let me say it again. After this encounter, this man was pronounced dead by the time he got to the hospital. They killed this man in fucking broad daylight. Look at them. They were all white men standing tall, pressing him down. Stay down. They killed him in broad daylight. And you're telling me you need some fucking investigation? Investigate my nuts. How about that? Investigate my nuts. How about that? Look at that. Show you again one more time. Look at that. Does that look like a man that they're trying to take what he stole? No, it was a man that they really wanted to kill. And they did. He was held face down for almost 5 minutes. With one man appearing to be kneeling on his neck. Just like they did to George Floyd in broad daylight in the middle of the fucking street. And you tell me there's no racism? Why he wasn't an Asian man? Why he wasn't a Middle Eastern man? Because you just have to pick on the wicked that you know that they don't have a voice. They don't have anyone to defend them. And you can enforce your authority. Stay down. They killed the man before he even got to the hospital. And one fucking bigot is talking about the crime he committed 10 years ago. Really? This is why I said many of you have no soul. You have zero soul in you. Everything about you is gush of so much hatred that you have within your soul that you've never really even want to exercise, to come to terms with the evil that boil up inside of you every time. Literally. Look at that. That man weighs as twice as he is. What investigation do you need? The proof is right there. The proof is right there. The man is killed, died, helpless in the middle of the street for allegedly he stole something that was never confirmed. Sakila was accused of shoplifting. So ladies and gentlemen, shoplifting now could get you killed. And the African leaders, there is no outcry. There is no nothing. They just shut the fuck up because they run and rule under the same system of government that was introduced by the same colonizers. It's the same thing. The same thing. A former classmate said that Sakila had worked in IT but recently became homeless because probably there's no job. No job. As a black man, this is the same man that they said he's taking all our jobs, taking our jobs. They may kick them out. The same man, he works in IT, couldn't even get a job, so he became homeless. An IT man became homeless in Ireland.
I think it's a dreadful thing to happen. It is awful, and I think we are so we're really racist.
I saw colleagues doing.
Yes, Grandma, you're really racist. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, if you're offended by anything I said tonight, you can kiss my ass. If you're a white man, if you listen to any of this conversation, if you say, why am I so passionate? Why am I screaming? Why are you so screaming? May God continue to fucking punish you. You are not the sort of people I want you to watch me and listen to me. You can fuck off. Because you have no soul in you. You're a degenerate prick. If you think what they did to this man has any kind of justification. Because I guess so. Imagine tomorrow you find out that another white man did the same thing back in Africa. What are you going to say? You say, yeah, back luck, mate. I'm very sure some of you say that. As I said, there is no soul. No zero soul. When I go outside, I see someone, I just look into them, I can see there's nothing there. There is no soul. I'm sorry, I'm not here to bash white people, but fuck it. How much fucking proof do you need? How much proof do you need? Like I always say, thinking is not illegal. Thank you for those who watch. Thanks for those who support. Thank you for those who subscribe. Thank you. Mucho gracias, muchos. I'll be back again later this afternoon. I just wanted to just highlight this because it's extremely sad. The materials I wanted to talk about today, I couldn't do it because I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me. And literally, a couple of months ago, it was last year, Sweden passed the law saying that they're going to pay immigrants over 30-something thousand euros for them to leave their country. Now they will pay you to leave out, to move out of the country. Really? The same country that your ancestors came and put their foot on the ground and killed the people, take the resources from them? The same immigrants that you whinge and complain to that they're taking your job, that the people who came before you, they did nothing but terrorize them. We always talk about Israel. We talk about the Holocaust with Hitler and Germany. Do you want to know what the fucking stupid the Belgium king did to Africans? Do you know how many millions of people will never see the generation again? Do you ever know that? No, you don't. But you know Germany, you know Israel. There's never been any kind of understanding the kind of shit that Africans deal with. It's never stopped. It still happens till today. It's not even worth having a conversation. Thank you. If you enjoy, subscribe, comment. If you agree with me, put in the comment section, I'll read. If you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree with anything that I say. And I'll respond to you. Like I always say, thinking is not illegal, but you can pay me so I can think for you.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.